Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hello, hello. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome to Story and Sketch, live with Pamela, where I am going to show you how to create an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page. This is the project that I do every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And today I'm going to show you how to take that 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page and turn it into a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So if you aren't one that is interested in the 8.5 by 11 scrapbook pages, then I can show you how to take these ideas and turn them into those 12 by 12s. So that's my goal today. And today, this week, we are using the Sentimental Christmas suite of products that are featured in the September through December mini catalog. They are featured on page, we'll get there eventually, 28 and 29. I absolutely fell in love with this collection when I saw it because it immediately made me think of Christmas when I was a child. So I've enjoyed reminiscing this week about scrapbooking my childhood photos. My mom and dad were really big into taking photos all throughout my life. And here is the pages that I did on Monday using this suite of products. So there I am, 1 year old. I was born in January of 70, so I was almost 1 year old there at Christmas time. And then I just selected some photos throughout the years that I had my mom send me and added those to the pages. There's one of my grandma. That's my mom and my dad. And then in 77, this would have been my brother JD's first Christmas. And then there we are in 1980, surrounded by all our gifts. And then this is what I taught on Monday, just showing how to die cut out some of the images using the dies that are in the bundle. So instead of stamping and coloring, you can cut some of these images out. So I did the stocking, made it kind of look like a mantle up here. And then I posted a reel last night about how to create my journaling here. Don't know if you can tell or see. It's pretty invisible, but this is a sheet of clear shipping labels. I have a package that's 8.5 by 11, and I print on there. I would put a text box so that I could do my journaling, and then put another text box or just a box right here on my word processor, my word processing program. I use Pages for Mac because I have a Mac computer, and positioned it right in here. You can kind of see where it's cut right here to go around that cluster. So, but when you layer it onto your paper, it's almost invisible. It looks like you printed right on the 12 by 12 or whatever size cardstock you have there. So you can check out the reel. I had a story up. I will probably put it in like a tips highlight later so that you can find it if you want more details about it. You can also message me about it as well, and I'll share what I have shared over the last couple of days about that. So let's move on We have a lot to do. I didn't get as much prepped as I wanted this morning because I had computer issues with my software. I couldn't get my phone connected and finally figured it out, apparently. But say hello if you're joining me. Let me know where you're from. I'm in the Texas Hill Country in the wonderful little town of Fredericksburg, Texas. You can Google that and learn all about where we live. It's a very popular place in the state of Texas. Every weekend, the tourists come in and take over our little town. Mostly they hang out on Main Street. Lots of great shopping, wineries, um, farms that have vegetables and like farm to market. Lots of cool things. All right, so let's see. I grabbed a few extra items here. I'm actually inspired today by one of my new fellow artisan design team members. I'm not sure where she's from. I'm going to have to learn. I think from Germany, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm not sure if it's Yvonne or Yvonne. So I'm going to figure that out here pretty quickly. We just started a new chat together with all the new design team members for 2025, and I'm getting to know everybody a little bit. So I'll go back and find out where she said she's from later. But I was inspired by a couple of her beautiful cards that she posted on her Pinterest and Instagram. So that's where we're going to head with this. So I've got the sentimental wishes, stamps, and the dies. I've still got this one dirty from Monday. I need to clean up, but I don't think I'm going to do much stamping today. Think it's going to be more just using the DSP paper. Now, I might use some of the sentiments in here, but I also have the Christmas labels that I used on Monday that have some fun um, sentiments that are great for cards, but they're also going to be great for my scrapbook pages too. So give me a thumbs up, say hello if you're joining me. And then I've got some colors here that I might use, but I also am thinking I might do a little bit of white embossing for whatever my title's going to be. And then I want to use this Birchwood 3D embossing folder to do a little texture. I'm really loving these embossing folders for that purpose. And here is the one photo that I'm going to scrapbook today. So if you're not familiar with my story and sketch, book that I've been working on since June. I actually have, I think, two 8.5 by 11 books from 2021 when I first originally started this series. So I have my 8.5 by 11 scrapbook here. These are available on clearance. The albums and the page protectors I last looked. Good morning, Flo. Good morning, Debbie. Thank y'all so much. And every Wednesday, I take a couple of photos. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's two. I might do three or four, kind of depending on the layout that I go with, and create a single 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page. I can do a little bit more technique and embellishing on here sometimes. And then, so you can see, like I did some paper weaving on this one and some sponging in the background. And then I tell a specific story about that one photo or memories. So it's more of like a favorite memories album, is what I kind of share with this. And I can go back and get photos from when I was a child. So this one was from 1979 because my mom and dad took photos. I have photos, tons of and tons of photos that'll eventually be passed down to me. But my mom has already been scanning in and posting photos on Facebook, so I'll go there sometimes and snag some of those photos. And then Monday, I asked her to send me some photos, and she sent me a bunch of photos for from my Christmas year. So that's how I got the photos for the scrapbook layout that I did on Monday. And then this one that I'm using today, I've had for a while, but you can see some of the fun stuff that I get to do on these smaller pages. And again, they're just specific memories I have that I wouldn't necessarily use on a full 12 by 12 two-page layout. So I haven't cut some of these for my flip flaps, but that's another way I like to add extra photos on these smaller pages. So that's the whole purpose of my story and sketch scrapbook pages that I do on Wednesdays. I really have fallen in love with this concept of doing these and just doing a smaller scale. Okay, so this photo right here, I forgot to go look back and see what year it is. It's probably about 79 is what I'm gonna guess. That's my little brother. He was born in 77, so I'm guessing he's about two right there. And this is one of my favorite Christmas photos from years past because of all the memories I can see right in here. I got some roller skates because we went to the skating rink a lot of Friday and Saturday nights. My parents would drop me off there with friends and we'd skate for a couple of hours and then they'd come back and pick us up. Anybody else do that? Oh, I'm so glad you bought the albums. Yay! So today I'm going to try to show you how to turn them into a 12 by 12 if you're not into the 8.5 by 11. And then also right here, look at this. This was actually my very first scrapbook. So that is somewhere around here in my um, packed away somewhere, I'm sure. And I think I ended up using it mostly for my sports that I was involved in through junior high and high school, like newspaper clippings and things like that. And then this right here, don't know if y'all could see that. It's actually a leather zippered notebook. We had a place in San Angelo, Texas called ML Letty's, and it has my name on it. I can't really see it in this photograph, but it said Pam. So I went by Pam when I was younger in school, and then I decided to go back to Pamela after I graduated at some point. And then I go by either or though, Pam or Pamela, but I sign everything and put everything as Pamela. So, anyways, this was oh, the smell of leather is so awesome, but it was zippered, and everybody in junior high had one. And then we would color on them and sign them and all of that stuff. So it was, three-ring binder basically, but zippered and made out of leather and had all these cool designs on it too. And then I don't really see this other stuff as my brother's, I guess. Of course, we're sitting in the wagon that he got. So that's kind of what my journaling will end up being about is some of those memories that I just shared with you. And let's get busy. So I've got a couple of patterns here. I wanted to, I'm going to cut out some of these right here, like maybe just in circles. I might fussy cut one or two out. I'm not sure. So Debbie did the skating rink as well. Yep. So that was a thing of the past, I think. I don't think that happens a lot anymore. It's fun, fun times. And then on the back here is some pretty, I love this pecan pie with snowflakes all over it. It's kind of a sponged background. So I might use a little bit of it as well. Haven't fully decided. Um, I have two samples here that I'm kind of looking at and thinking I want to, um, they're cards that she made, but there's couple of the bouquets, and maybe I'll use a smidge of this paper and this one as well. Okay, so we'll do some cutting here in a minute. I am going to use this as my base. This is shaded spruce. And then, at least I think I am. You know what? I just changed my mind. I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna use this on the page along with that. I'll use a little bit smaller dose of this right here. And then, so I'll use a little bit more of this, I think is what I'm going for. All right, so I don't know, I had my samples up here that I could see. So I know I want to, at least I think I'm actually going to leave the full piece here. Still need my trimmer. And then let me do something here so I can see everything. There we go. I can see the samples I want to look at, and then I can still see my screen. Y'all can't see the screen, but I'm just going to move some things around a little bit so I can see what I want to see, and it'll help me move a little faster here. All right, so we're going to keep this simple, and I think we're going to do this whole background. I have a whole nother sheet of this. So if I'm looking at my images, I want those to go down this way. I'm going to cut this at 8 by 10.5. So that'll be my full background. So I'm kind of veering off what I do normally, which is using lots of white. We'll use a little bit of white. So I'm going to tack down this piece using my removable glue dots. Looks like I got a cat hair in there. All right, so right here we are going to center it and place that down. But before we do that, I think I want to do a little bit of ink distressing. Sorry, my chair is getting stuck on the tile floor. So let me see if I found my scraps of paper yesterday that I was looking for on Monday. Let me see what I got on here. Not much of anything, so that's good. And my seat is being very stubborn today. All right, so I'm going to ink this up, and I'm just going to go around and sponge the edges of my DSP paper. So can you see? Just will give it a little bit more of an antique. Well, it doesn't really work. It's not the same color, but this is reminding me of the notebook a little bit. I'm surprised I got the photo printed actually, because I'm out of my is it cayenne? Is that the way you say the blue ink cartridge? And I had to order some more, so they're arriving today. But I still did it. It printed okay. It's not perfect. I can go back once I get my ink and reprint it. All right, so this is just going to distress those white edges because you can, and it helps it kind of pop off the that pecan cardstock. So I'm gonna set that aside so I don't know if I'll do any more on anything. We'll see. But I'll set that over there too. What do I have? So I think I'm gonna use this one and maybe cut out one of these. So that might just work perfect like that. So let's get this on here. And, oh, yeah, have to take a deep breath. I hate covering up a pretty pattern, but I just have to remind myself that I can just buy more paper if I need to. But I probably won't because you get lots of paper in your DSP pack. You get 2 sheets of each. So a total of 12 sheets. So you can just scrap and make cards and to your heart's content. All right, so here's my background. And then I think I want to bring in a little bit of this, possibly. Maybe just like a strip going down the side. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate this too. So don't think I've cut any of this paper yet. So I think I'm going to, I'll do like 1.5 inches. We'll start there. I guess I need to cut it down to 10.5. Oops, my blade's not in there good. So has anybody done any Christmas scrapbooking or card making recently? Are y'all in the Christmas crafting mood? All right, and then before I lay anything else down, I'm just going to play around and see what I want to build up here. So I think I want to do, I'm just trying to think where I want my photo to go in here. I'm going to think of kind of creating like a card base. I want to decorate up something like that, I think. So that's 4.25 by 5.5. So I'm going to start with this right here and see what we can create. And then I want some of this. And I'm going to do, and I might change that possibly to pecan pie. I'm not sure, but looking to see what I have on here. Let's do 4 inches by 5.25. I'm going to cut my pieces for now to see what we can come up with. And then I want some of this. I'm trying to decide. I don't know if I want the cherry cobbler or do I want the real red? I think the real red might work better. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think I'm going to do the real red in here to brighten it up just a little bit. And then this one, let's see here. Let's put that in here and let me decide about where I want this. Probably right like that. So that is, maybe that's about 4 inches by 3, maybe. Let's try that. I'm gonna do it a little bit bigger to start off with, and then I might cut it down a little bit. I think I will cut it down a little bit. And I'll just do a little 3 by 4, turn that, but go back to 3 inches. anyways, actually, this is going to end up being really kind of cool. It's going to be more like a card on an 8.5 by 11 on a 12 by 12. All right, so then this piece, let's cut it. I might cut that a little bit bigger. I'm going to do this 3. So this is basic white. We'll do this 3 by 4, and then let me cut this at 4 1/4 and 3 1/4. So kind of like a photo mat. You can think of this as like a 3 by 4. See, it could be, look, it would fit perfect like right on here like that. But I want to use, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to kind of create our title cluster is kind of what I'm doing right here. And just keeping it kind of generic, not generic, vintage is the word I want. Okay, so something like this. I think I might have to trim that down just a little bit more. So I want it to go like this, I believe. So let me do that just at 3 1/8. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece to that. So we're basically just building a card front right here for our 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page. Now I want to put this piece through the embossing, what do you call it? Embossing folder. I'm going to put this, I'm going to go ahead and put it on, but I'm going to put it on with some foam tape. So I like to position this out. That might be almost too long. Didn't guesstimate very well there. And then I'll usually put a couple of little pieces like right in here just to fill that in so it stays popped up off the page. It's going to give it a little dimension. Good morning, Joe. Thanks for joining us today. So Debbie's been working on her Christmas cards. Yes, that's exactly what I thought of too, Joe. That's what I've been scrapbooking, are pictures from when I was a kid. I did that on Monday and today. All right, so I'm going to place that right up against the edge there at that shaded spruce. That's what that is. And then let's get this run through. I have to have my big embossing machine for this. And instead of laying my embossing machine right down on there, I'm going to pull out another Versamat and just to protect my page. And there it is. So this is the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. This was part of the Nests of Winter Sweet collection from the 24 or September, December 24 mini catalog, still available. Last I looked. So let's do our plate number 1, our embossing folder. I'm going to just lay that down in there. And that's a basic white cardstock. Then we can run it through. This will just add a little bit of extra texture. I have to remember this weekend to see if I can get Jeff to make my chair where it doesn't go up and down because it's really been bugging me lately. All right, I'm just going to set all that over there, get it out of the way. Let's bring things back in. And now I want that on top of here. I think I'm kind of combining the two cards that Yvonne created. I'm inspired by her artwork. It is so beautiful. Y'all can go check her out at the Creative Teacup. All right, so there's that. Now let's build this up. Um, so I'm thinking I'll put some of that right there. I think I'm going to put a little bit more of that paper, like on here too, poking out, but I'm going to cut it. Well, I'll cut it the same way. Maybe I can, give me a second. What did I do with those scraps that I cut? Let me look and see if, I don't think it's quite big enough. I've got this right here. I think I'm just going to use it. We might as well. So I'm going to dovetail it. Maybe just tuck it like right up under here, underneath whatever else I'm going to. Maybe not under there, but like up here. And I'm going to layer something over top of it. Let me see if I can clean that up a little bit better. Mm, There, I think that's good. Okay. And then I'll figure out in a minute where I'm going to put my photo and my journaling. So let's grab, let me find this paper. And I think I'm just going to fussy cut out this right here. I can just kind of go around each one of these little deer, kind of inside a wreath of sprigs. They're not connected, but they're kind of, some are circular, some are more oval. This kind of seems to be an oval one. It just worked out to where I could get that just perfect, I think. Yeah, I just love the colors and the images. Now, something that is so neat about Stamping Up is that they have a whole department of artists, like real artists, that actually draw. Like they either paint or draw these images. Concept artists, I think is what they're called, and they share with us how they create these. They'll be in like in a big format. So this was an actual drawing, painting. Looks more like water, like colored pencils that they used on here. And then they digitize it all to create the pattern paper. Perfect. Okay. So there's that one. And then I think I'm going to cut out this little fella right here. And I'm going to go around these little sprigs because I can end up cutting all of that out. All right, so I'm going to fussy cut this little Bambi. I'm going to go around kind of rough just to get him out of here, and then I can do a little bit cleaner cut and not have all this excess paper. But when you start fussy cutting out these pieces, yeah, kind of do what I did there, and then you've got ways that you can fussy cut whatever you want out. And again, I know not everybody likes to fussy cut, but take some of my tips here. See how I'm moving the paper around more than my scissors. You can kind of just relax your hand because I know sometimes I'll tense up and I'm like, I don't need to be tense about this. It's just moving the paper around. Like this hand right here will get tense, and I have to remind myself, just relax, Pamela. Have some good lighting. That will help as well. And then just move on with this hand, move your paper around, and it makes it so much easier to cut out. Especially when you start to get into these little fine detail areas. Now, I'm not going to go up through the legs, but you could do that if you wanted to. There's just an extra little deer that I can put into this cluster. And I might even, let me see what, I had another, I think it's on the back of this piece. Look at these. Okay, let's cut one of them out. I'm looking to see, I'm going to do this one right up here. Go around this way. I am right-handed, so it's easier to go around the right way instead of the left way. And pop that out and do the exact same thing. So I guess today's featured technique primarily was fussy cutting. So who are my fussy cutters? Or do you just absolutely hate fussy cutting? All right. Almost caught myself saying so again. Been saying that word too much lately. I'm trying to catch myself. Okay, yes. So, don't know why I do that. All right, there we have another little image. Then you don't have to do any stamping and coloring because those images in here, and there is nothing that's particularly like that. Let's build this up. I was going to say it again. I'm going to put this up with a few dimensionals. And just hearing them so they should fit inside there like that. Oh, and I want to put this banner that I cut out back here somewhere too. Got that. I'll layer all that on in a minute. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to leave that there or not. I'm going to put some adhesive just right along the edge there. And then before I lay it down here, get it positioned so you won't see. There we go. Something like that. And then I think I might put a sentiment or a title right down in here. And then I think we're really making this one kind of dimensional. I think I'll put these both close together right there. So I'm kind of making a wreath. Still see the deer. And then this one will pop up right here. I think I'll grab my smaller. I haven't pulled out. I don't know where my tweezers are at the moment. I don't think. They're hiding somewhere, but I don't know where. I guess I'll just use my scissors. Maybe. I couldn't see it. It was blended in there. But guess I could get my take your pick tool. It might work a little bit better. All right. I don't want to cover up the face. So right about there. Oh, and then so look at all the dimension in just that. How cute. Cute, cute little card it could be. Again, that was a card front. Let's put a few. So most of our embellishing is like right here. All right, so let's use a few of our cute peppermints instead of, I wanted to go with something a little bit more on the cute side instead of those dressy adhesive backed embellishments. And just put some around. We'll do a big one down here, maybe. Whoops, I didn't get it. I'll do a tiny one. Now, these have been selling out or going out of stock repeatedly. So if you go and look for these on the website, you may not find them, or it may say out of stock. They should be getting more in. If you want to know an exact date, I can look that up for you. I think that's good. Maybe we'll put one right up here too. Oh, and I didn't even mention at the beginning of my live, but we have I don't even remember what it's called now, a seasonal shopping days, something like that. Let me look it up. Can't remember what they called it, but there are some bundles, seasonal sale up to 20% off on paper. Where'd it go? There it is. Bundles and ink. So if you want to get a few inks, I haven't looked to see what's available. You'll just have to go to my website. Let me look here. So I did want to share with you right down here is my projects to go kit that's available for this week only, which are these projects that I'm creating using the Sentimental Christmas. I just have to kind of decide where I want to put this. I still have to have a sentiment. And you'll get a pre-cut kit or kits for the 12 by 12 scrapbook layout, this 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page, and then the two fun fold cards that I'll do on Friday. So when you place an order of $50 or more, I'll send you those pre-cut kits. So you can get a super deal on the seasonal sale and grab yourself some paper, stamp bundles, and inks and cardstock. So go check out that sale when you get an opportunity to. Let me go back over here. I was going to make sure you knew there's a link in the description, so you can totally do that. Let me take that off and I can show you. That's not what I wanted. Show my overlay window. There. And you can shop at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net. Don't need that. That's, oh, well, actually, I did grab that because I think I want to put a my sentiment right in here somewhere. So let's grab that. I might do something kind of like this, something a little different, and then I can do a journaling block right, like, because all that stuff I told you about down here when I was sharing about the photo, then I can have a journaling block right here. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll do more of a grid pattern today, I think. Let's see. I've got, let me see what we have here that'll work well. Have a Merry Little Christmas. That one will work well. I had a couple of these already cut, so I could just use those, which I think that may be what I do. I haven't brought in any of the ribbon or this yet either, so I want to do that possibly. I have a little bit of an idea on that now. And then why don't we, let's see, does that fit? I don't know if it fits. Let me see. Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Maybe it'll fit on there. Yeah, I think out of those two, that one will be the best. But then let me look on here. Sweet as sugar plum candy. Believe I kind of like that too. It's kind of bigger, but I think it'll fit. Let's do that. I like that better. I just would rather use these images maybe on a card. And then we'll just use, I think I'm going to use that one right there. And I'm thinking I will maybe put it, let me arrange this a couple of different ways and see what I like. I think I like it at the top. And then I'm going to create A couple of options here. Let me pull out the colors that I used. Maybe just do that. So I'm thinking I'll do like a long, skinny tag, maybe right here. Then I can have a little bit of fun doing that up at the top. So me have some little scissors, or not little scissors, little ruler here. So maybe just about if I do 2.5 inches, maybe 2 3/4 inches. And I want it to be the length of, I like it better, I think, like this. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I am going to sponge it since it's on that pecan pie. Thank you, Joe. Only good on items from the annual catalog. I knew it was a select, it was select items. I knew that much. I hadn't even clicked on it this morning though yet. Glue. There we go. I'm just going to leave like 1/4 inch on that left side. And I'm just kind of looking about that. Maybe we'll push it over a little bit more so that that can be right about there. I don't want it to go all the way down. I want it to, I think, just be the same length as that. Let me look at my ruler and see about how tall it needs to be. Approximately 8 3/4. That's what I'm going to do. Cut this at 8 3/4. And what did I cut it at? 2 3/4. So 8 3/4. And then I need a piece of, okay. So, yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this down. So I think I've decided on that. Kind of dimensional. So could have grabbed out some liquid glue. Let's do it about right there. Okay. And then this one, I'm just going to put my photo down just like that. Now, if I wanted to add some more photos, I could do a flip flap, but I'm just focusing on this one photo, I think. And still kind of deciding where I need to decide where I'm going to put that. Maybe up here. Don't think, I just need to stamp it probably in red. Kind of being finicky. It'll be the holiday red since I use that cardstock. Now let me do a piece of basic white because that's what I'll end up printing my journaling on. So it needs to be, I think, 2.5. It's popping out. 2.5 by 8.5, because I was 2 3/4 by 8 3/4. I'm just going to tack this down like that. And I kind of want to make a tag up here. I think I'll go ahead and punch a hole in there. I have my old crocodile here. Just eyeballing it. Then I can do a little bit of this. It'll poke out from, I think I did them the same way. Let me go this way. And I really think I like them like that. So if I can get that strung through there, I'll have to let Yvonne, Yvonne. Ooh, you could see how that frayed right there. You could kind of, I guess, spray it even more. I may just, I'll leave it like that for the moment and I'll trim it down a bit. And then I want to do this long enough that I can do a bow around that. That's been a cute look lately. I've seen a lot of other demonstrators do. So you can just come around right here. I'm going to tie a knot and then I'll do my bow. Right like that. Me. See if the cat, I think, is eating dog food. I can hear in the background. Noelle has been very pesky, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. All right, so there's that. I like to, let me see if I can do it on this one first, see if I left enough. I like to tie little knots in the bottom of my ribbons, or my, just to finish them off right there. So usually I need to leave it a little bit longer than I meant to, or I want them. So then I can kind of trim them off, clean them up. Just gotta pull on it to get it to cut. I need some new scissors. I need some snips, which I'm excited because being a new Stampin' Up artisan design team member, I get a nice little product credit that'll be coming to me soon so that I can purchase new snips and new blocks. This is the only Stampin' Up block that I have. My upline Kim sent that to me when I promoted to silver. That's her team name, Stampin' Attitude. And it has my name on it. So I'm going to get new blocks and scissors and a new paper trimmer because it needs to all have Stampin' Up on it. All right, so let's do this in Real Red. We're almost done. And then I will share the finished pages or the finished page with the journaling here in just a little bit. I'll have to get that typed up. I think I'll let ChatGPT help me. I can go in and tell it to create a journaling block. I'll just use this. And I can tell about the skate rink, skating at the skate rink, my new skates with the blue wheels and the blue pom-poms. I can upload this photo actually into it, and it will pull some of the details out from the photo, but I can give it some specifics like the Emoletti leather notebook, and my first scrapbook. I think that had like the manila pages in it where you just glued construction paper stuff on it. All right, so there's that, and I just have to kind of decide. I'm going to just tack this down. That way I don't know if I'll probably print my journaling on actually, since I've already got all this tied through, I'm going to go ahead and put it on here, and then I'll print my journaling on that 8.5 by 11 shipping label sheets that I have. And so right here, and then that can just stick out from the top of your album. So that's kind of fun to have things. They can't go out this way, but you can go out from the top if you wanted to. Let me kind of see where I think I kind of like it right there. What do y'all think? I think I'll do that. I just got to see how to get it up that high. Or do I want to tuck it under his feet? I think I'll tuck it under his feet. And then I'll just need to put some I think right underneath, like right up in here, I think is where I need and it'll adhere right in here. Let's see. Yep, I think that'll work. And so I'm curious while I'm wrapping this up, did y'all open your presents from the family? Or did you get presents from the family, or were the presents all from Santa? Did you do it on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning? I would love to know. I'm going to add a few more embellishments, and I think I'm going to add a little bit, like another thing, another bow, just like right over here somewhere. So we used to always gather as a family on Christmas Eve. We still do, just not with the same family. My mom and my brother are in like 2 hours away. So we usually have Jeff's family, his parents, over on Christmas Eve here and do gifts for the kids. And then we don't do a lot anymore on Christmas Day, but growing up, we would, of course, Santa would come Christmas morning, and then, and usually it was just a present or two. and our stockings were filled. And then we would go to either my grandma's house or there we uh, there were pictures of us at my great grandmother's house, at my grandma's house, and then at one of my uncle's houses. We would alternate, I think, through the years, from what I can recall. And then, of course, you grow up, you get married, then things change. You kind of have to alternate sometimes years. And then it gets even crazier when you end up divorced. So, like Bevan won't be here with us this year. She'll be at her dad's for Christmas. I'm looking for my glue dots. There we go. And wrapping this up. We're almost done. And oh, but I do need to show you just real quick, kind of quickish, how to turn this into a. So if you want to hang around, I can show you how to turn this into, I think I'm just going to stick it like right down in there, into a 12 by 12, because that's what I promised I would do. Okay, I'm just going to let it, I don't know if I want it to go under. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Okay, that just added a little extra, and then let's do I don't know. Let me see here. Let me look. Maybe I'll just do, I can do a couple down here. I can position my journaling so that it kind of goes around there. All right. And then if you wanted to, so something a little different, I used a bunch of different patterns, colors, but it all comes from that Sentimental Christmas. Pulling off my glue dots, temporary glue dots. And then let's look real quick at how we can add this to a scrapbook, make it a 12 by 12. So if you want to hang around and watch that, please do so. I'll share, I don't know how much I'll actually do, but let's see. So you could pick any color. I don't have, oh, maybe I do. Let me see here. Maybe. Let me see. I might have some 12 by 12s. Look at that. Of those. So here's some options. You can put it right on a white 12 by 12 base, maybe sponge the edges of here. Then you could put even a bigger title right here using the either or. We've got our Alamode dies, alphabet Alamode dies, or these nice stamps where you could stamp a bigger title going along the edge here. Or you could just stick with the believe right there and then take some, maybe take some paper and go down the edge here. How about, let me look. I think I will have to grab, give me a second while I sift through my pattern paper. You could put this down the edge to bring more of that. I think I cut through that so much that I can't do that with this, but could either do this side, could just cut maybe I'm looking to see what it would be. 1, 2.5-inch strip, sponge it, and put it right there down the side. I kind of like that idea. How about I just do that and show you? So if you scrapbook, do you do 1 page or 2 pages normally? See, how awesome is just that? How simple is it? Like super simple. To just add a strip. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it's going to look like. I probably won't adhere this because I want to put this in my 8.5 by 11 scrapbook. But you could do the same concept if you want to just do 12 by 12 and do 1 page at a time. Now, I know some people might be a little anal about their pages coordinating that are opposing pages. But if not, then, and that's kind of how my 8.5 by 11 is. It's just different random pages. I just put them in the album as I create them. I'm not worried about chronological time frames or anything like that with that particular um, album. All right. So that, okay, really, it can be that simple. You don't have to add anything else to it, really. If you wanted to add a bigger title here, you could. You could just leave it like this. You'll have your journaling. You've got your little title here, and voila, you have a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So keep that in mind as you're watching me create my 8.5 by 11 pages on Wednesdays, that you can always transition it into a 12 by 12 page. And if you wanted to do some on your own, you could create, just shift some elements around. You can do it like this even, and then have a big title up here. Maybe flip it around like that. Got your journaling on the bottom, a big title up here, strip of paper, and then your 8.5 by 11 is landscape instead of our normal portrait mode. All right. So Debbie usually does 2 pages. That's primarily what I do, but I do enjoy on occasion doing 12 by 12, just single pages too. Those are fun and quick and simple. All right, so there is my project for today, the Sentimental Christmas. I'll get my journaling done. I'll share the photos of the finished layout page. When I say layout, usually I mean 2 pages, and then I just have to catch myself sometimes because I kind of interchange the wording sometimes. All right, so I thank y'all for joining me. Don't forget about the seasonal sale that's happening. Just 2 days, I think, or 3 days. It is the 15th through I'm sorry, the 13th, starting today through the 15th. You can get 10% off ink, which includes pads, refills, markers, stamping blends, 10% off, and those are from the annual catalog. So that should be like all the colors we have available right now. Then 10% off cardstock. Close to My Heart cardstock is not included, it says. And then you can get 20% off all stamp and die bundles. So normally it's 10% off, so you get an additional 10%. And stamp and punch bundles. So there's a couple of those that I want, a couple of punches that actually come in dies too. So I'll look at the cost of those and see what I want or really need. And then 20% off all designer series paper. And there is some beautiful designer series papers available in the annual catalog. And you can go back through my YouTube or my Instagram. You can see photos on Instagram. You can see the videos that I've created using a lot of the designer series paper already. There are some that I still need to create with. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. But you can go to my shopping link at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net. But if you use the host code link that is in the description of this video, you will be able to, when you place your order of $50 or more, especially through that sale, or just buy the bundle for this, you won't get a discount on this particular bundle because it's in the mini catalog, but you can qualify to get the pre-cut class kit for my projects for the whole week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday's projects, I'll cut all the paper for you, and you might get to fussy cut this right here, but I'll provide the section, the pieces for you. And then you'll get the dies, the pre-cut paper. You'll just need the stamps and the embellishments. So any of the embellishments that I used in the project. So far I've just used I've used the ribbon, those dressy, I used those on Monday, and then I used these and the twine or the baker's twine today. So you might add those to your order. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm kind of surprised that I got through with this as quick as I did since I didn't have a lot of it prepped. Worked out really great though. So thanks for joining me today. I hope y'all have a great week. Join me again on Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time for Feel Good Friday, where I'll create 2 fun fold cards using this collection. So thanks, y'all. I appreciate y'all commenting, liking, subscribing, following, sharing. Thank you. Bye bye.